Let's see. Sorry, I forgot to plug in my mic. Figured I'd end the year on a fuck up there. Hey, Grorg. Welcome, man. Oh, I don't know if I'm live yet. Just in case. Hi. Good morning, Sapphire. Hey, guys. Alright, so it's been 2 weeks and I've been kind of traveling. I've been in Florida for a bit, but I've also had a lot of time to pick it, because I haven't been working. So I've had some time to pick at the design and do a bunch of stuff. So I got a lot of random stuff done that I can showcase. I hope you guys are having a wonderful morning. It is, what is it? It is Sunday. It is 11:30. It is the very last day of 2017. And for the YouTubers, I'm just going to go ahead and like show off some of the stuff that's changed while I've been away. I don't even remember. There's so much random stuff. Mostly it's been design work. A lot of reorganizing the levels, making more levels, cutting more levels, changing the on-ramp, that sort of thing. So most of this isn't stuff that you would even really notice. I did add this at one point early on. I actually forgot about it. So you can kind of go back and scrub through your moves. You can replay and undo back all the way to the beginning. This looks cooler for one of these levels. So if you want, you can go back to this point. Oh shit, it's cut off. You can't really see what I'm clicking here, huh? See if there's a way to fix that. So yeah, you can scrub through the timeline here, basically. What else? God, it's been forever, so I'm trying to remember everything that's changed. Lots of bug fixing. I added windowed mode. I'm working with a new audio person. I found this guy that's, Mitchell. He was the trombone chair at his school. He's like an aspiring musician. He's really jazzed about the game. He's been playing through it, and so I'm really excited to bring him in. What else has changed? I think there's been a ton of design work, especially towards the end of the game. I've had different people play through the game. Well, I've had different people put in at least 2 hours into the game, which can get you to about here-ish, it looks like. I think I've made the game kind of long. Oh, whatever. What else? I guess the coolest thing is, now that I've kind of got an idea of what all the levels are, I'm going to start stitching together the world. So this is kind of, if you remember, December was I was going to gray box all the level fragments, and then in January I was going to stitch them together into like the world, which is kind of what's starting now. So you're starting to see like where all of these are going to be physically, which won't pay off yet, but will pay off eventually towards the end of the game and for the UI screen and stuff. So yeah, I think that's about where I am. And this is a nightmarish project that's going to take forever. My biggest concern continues to be the trombone. Which is actually what I'm like looking at right now. The trombone is the most complicated character. It's the most polarizing. This is a character you have to select which limb to use, which allows for much cooler puzzles in my opinion, but also it makes him a lot harder. Ichiro bounced off immediately, like he didn't even play a single puzzle with him. Not really sure what to do about it. I debated cutting him. I changed things at one point. I made a different version of him where every time you click it activates both limbs. I tried that. I tried a version of him where every time you click it toggles between, rather than choosing a limb, every time you click it toggles. So go this one, then this one, then this one, then this one. That wasn't fun. I've just tried different things with him. And the thing is, I like him a lot. I like his puzzles. I think they're cool. He's Euler. He's the star of the show here. Kind of makes sense. Euler angles would be the most polarizing. But yeah. I think my buddy Chris played through and he said that what he really wanted was just like some easier levels to get used to him before we just dump you in. So that's what I think I'm going to try now. And I'm going to get a playtest with a completely new person on Wednesday. My buddy Jason Mojica, who works out somewhere in Europe now. He's an old friend and a game designer from Bioshock Infinite. So yeah, that's the state of things. Now before anybody gets here, I think I need an even easier level for him. I mean, I changed it around so that when you first play the accordion, you have this kind of like one little area where you can kind of explore a bit and see how she works. And then you've got a couple of levels where it's literally just feel out how she moves and works and stuff. And I was kind of hoping we wouldn't need to do too much of that for the trombone, because you can't unlock the trombone until you've already worked with the drum and the accordion a bit. But I think that was a stupid assumption. I think I might create the exact same level for him. One that you just roll around in and you can click a bit so that people can get used to the new control scheme. And then we'll have you jump down into this level. I also just reordered them. I think this will be the second level, because you pretty much just go in a circle one way or the other. It's difficult to mess this up. And this one's just kind of fun, I think. Again, this one's just kind of difficult to mess up. And then we'll get you into some of the weirder shit. So yeah, that's my thinking. I'm literally going to copy that map. Oh wait, no, I don't have to. This is all extremely temporary, so I don't want to fall in love with it yet. I've got, like, for the trombone levels specifically, I've got a lot of rethinking to do, because I'm so unhappy with them. Hey, May. I think I kind of just explained it. I'm not entirely sure. I'm never entirely sure what I'm doing, but, I think I met my December goals of gray boxing the world. I'm waiting for feedback on that stuff. I do at some point need to go back in and figure out what the environments look like and really shore that up quite a bit, but I feel like I just need to... So I gray boxed all the level fragments, but I haven't done the pass yet where I gray box the entire world, and there's certain questions that I have that I can't answer until I've done that. For instance, a lot of the stuff that ties the world together. So right here, you jump off of a light to go to the next area, and that's an assumption I've had because I've just done that for a while. I'm not sure if I like it. I think it should be something that's maybe a different instrument for each character, for one thing. So like maybe it's a cymbal for the drum, but not a cymbal for her. And in general, I want a better idea of how the world ties together. So the last really big missing piece in figuring out what this game is doing a rough pass at the world. Which I have all the fragments, so I'm just going to do a rough pass of slapping all the fragments together. We're going to see where we are. And I'm going to spend a lot of January trying to figure out creative solutions for getting around between the puzzles. And a lot of January is also going to be playtesting the design, because I'm not a very good designer. So yeah, so basically I have this many level fragments, and I'm going to roughly lay them out where I think they'll be, in like a quick sketch kind of format, which I've already started doing. I'm a lot happier with the drummer and the accordion, so I've been kind of doing that with them. Oh, wrong levels. Those I need to just remove. See that later. So when you play the accordion, you move through the world, you move through this area. Same thing with the drum. I have been busy on this stuff. I haven't done anything art-wise since the last stream. It's been entirely just this crap. Which is actually really hard and really fun. Anyway, that was probably too much information. Happy New Year, May. Aren't there layers? What do you mean? I mean, there are layers, but the way I structured the code is I don't want to have the entire overworld in one map. I want each level to have a single puzzle, so I can load in and load out the information I need. And then what I plan to do is, so like this is just the art, like it's the backdrop for a series, for a section, for a bunch of little sub-levels that stream in and out. I would not, by the way, experiment too much with nested levels. I mean, we're doing it at work, and it's cool, but you need a lot of, or if you're a programmer, go for it. But if you're not a programmer, I would not experiment with nested levels. It's very dangerous. It's also not something Epic officially supports. Hey, Tap Crush, thanks. Cool. Thanks for checking in. I mean, technically I failed my goals for December because my goals were to gray box all the level fragments and also make a beautiful corner. And my corner's not very beautiful. I didn't get where I wanted to get with this. I have not figured out a lot of the environment. This is still kind of boring. But I think I just thought at the time it would be more important to keep pushing on the level stuff while I was away on vacation. And Happy New Year's, Tap Crush. So I made the executive decision to fail on the beautiful corner, to punt on it into January, and to instead gray box the world. Because design is really hard, guys. I'm sorry, I keep confusing those. December was gray boxing the level fragments. January is gray boxing the world. Out of the level fragments. Anyway. Never sure how much to talk. Let me take a look at the levels here. You know what? I started doing this and I just lost my mind. So this is the table that has all the levels, all the different sub-levels in the game, and I just added one for the forearm bot. Where are you? So trombone. Spot. The trombone under the hood will always be called forearm spot because that is what it was when I was prototyping, and changing it would be a huge pain in the ass. We will never tell the press that. The press will believe this was always a music game from the very beginning. We'll see, Tap Crush. I want to have something that's kind of cool looking and good to show at GDC. The reason I bring that up is because GDC is mid-March, so there's tons of time, but I've got like a billion things to do between now and then. And I'm probably going to be crunching at work. In February and March. So basically I have to get everything I want to show off later done now. Which is good in a way. It'll give me a lot of time to get people to play test it. 7. A lot of time for iteration. Aiming for PAX East? Oh, I don't know. I wasn't gonna, Shit. So when I said I'd take it to GDC, I meant because, like, my friends are at GDC and I'm speaking there. So I was gonna have, like, friends play it and stuff. I don't know. Working an actual show floor on my own for a side project. Well, I'm in Boston, so maybe PAX East. I hadn't really considered it. When is PAX East? Well, let me Google that real quick. I never really thought I would take this to conventions, to be honest. 2018, April. I mean, that fits. I'll be there in some capacity. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good time. Good idea. Maybe I should make that a thing. Let's get through GDC first. I'm actually terrified. I've got... like, my real job is gonna consume my life soon, so... my real job. My company is gonna consume my job soon. My life. I'm tired. Okay, so yeah, maybe we'll give people a level here where they can kind of like... multiple limbs. How do they work? Have you guys seen this since I added the glow shader? I did do a bunch of cleanup in general on stuff that I'm not sure, because I've been not streaming for so long. I added a system where you can, or I tagged all the materials that are outline materials, so that I can just change their color dynamically, and I'm just changing them based on what you've selected. Because that was kind of hard to figure out before for people. Anyway, so yeah, this is a new level that's just helping you get used to things. And we drop you into here. I don't know. I just gotta playtest the shit out of this guy. I've lost the ability to even... up until about now, I've at least been able to imagine how people would respond. And I had a pretty good feel on like what was easy and what was hard, but I've replayed these so much that I can't, like, I just know the solutions to even the hardest ones. I just do it automatically, like my hands just go. I don't even know if it's fun anymore. I've like lost that at some point, which is a sign I probably need to step away for a bit, because I'm very forgetful, so I'll probably forget how to solve all these in like a week or two. You think I'd have to apply for PAX? Probably. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I bet I'll speak again. I'm almost certain. I was invited to be part of a panel at PAX, so no matter what, I'll be in the building. I might just, like, guerrilla show it to people. I don't know. I mean, my motivations here are probably... a puzzle game is not going to do well on a show floor, right? Show floors are great if you have a multiplayer game or some big, loud, boisterous thing or something like that. My best bet is just pulling aside certain people, focusing on specific, maybe a publisher if I want to go that route, or it's a little too early to say. Maybe certain members of the press, getting very specific people to sit down and play the game for a bit, especially if you can line that up ahead of time. I don't think having an actual booth would make sense, but I don't know. I'd have to think on that a bit more. There's pros and cons to that. Also, I dread the idea of working a show alone again. It's way more fun if you have people, and you can like take bathroom breaks and shit. They do always have a bunch of indie booths, especially PAX East. I love the number of, it's just taken over. There's so many, walking around, I felt like the footprint for the indie space between all the different, like the indie mega booth and all the indie areas was bigger than the actual AAA spaces combined. Is that true? Okay, no. Upstairs for PAX Prime, definitely, but I don't know. I didn't see a huge Blizzard presence at PAX Prime, for instance. They had a booth selling things. And I think... I do feel like at PAX East, there's an alarmingly large number of indie games. There's definitely more indie games. I don't know if their actual floor space is bigger. Yeah. It is. It also depends on what you consider indie, right? I mean, sure, there's the indie mega booth, and then there's the smaller indies that are there that are showcasing. But you also got, like, kind of the middleweight indies. And you have all the indies that are part of the publisher booths, like a lot of the stuff Devolver's putting out, I think, yes, it's in the Devolver booth, but it's definitely indie games. So you tend to see a lot more of that too. So I think if you really calculate it up, there's actually a lot of the vast... I don't know. I don't know if the majority of the footprint for PAX is indie these days, but it's close. Also, a lot of the footprint... the footprint for video games. Because so much of the footprint for that show is not video games specifically. I don't think... There's a UE4 booth for GDC. I don't think there's a UE4 booth for anything else. I haven't talked to Joe about that. I don't think I'm ready to show this game at GDC. Like, show it on a floor. I think that'd be insane. But, yeah. We did show The Flame and the Flood. Is our first time showing that game was actually at a GDC in the Unreal Engine booth. So that would be kind of like nostalgic in a way. Because that was my first indie game. Yeah. I haven't told anyone at Epic I'm doing this yet. I was kind of hoping somebody would figure it out, but I don't think it... it's still not time yet. In my own head, this is the greatest game of all time. But that doesn't make it true. That just makes me very happy. Alright. I was stitching this together. God, I gotta get rid of the drums. Those throw me off every time. Okay. So this is where Teapot ends. Oh my god, are you taking up all this space? What did I do for you? Okay, so that's the footprint that I was setting aside for the accordion, which is bigger than I remember. Did I not finish doing this? This is much bigger than I remember. No, what the fuck are you? Oh, that's all the forum level stuff. Yeah, duh. Okay. That's what I'm currently working with. That makes more sense. You're waiting for a community spotlight. Crush it, man. I never read their blog. I'm bad. Where's the win condition for this level? Right there, huh? I do watch their streams sometimes, yeah. We'll see, man. I'm actually hoping I can, like, I might need to ghost for a month and work on stuff at the Molasses Flood. I might need to take, like, somewhere around probably February-ish. Things are gonna get very real at work. And then I'm gonna be slacking on the streams. Oh, that's why I kind of lined everything up to go big in March. I think in March I want to go big on this. Send out a couple builds to people, see if I can get some buzz. I mean, you don't really get to choose this sort of thing. You just kind of take what you can get, right? But that would be kind of my goal, if I could set something. Okay, where's the spawn point for you? Yeah, I thought so. How many animators or tech artists? Oh, I mean, the company, so the Molasses Flood is a small company in Boston that I founded with a couple of other people. We all used to work together at Irrational. So on BioShock Infinite, there was 3 tech animators, 1 tech artist, and I think about 7 or 8 animators full-time and a bunch of freelancers and contractors coming in and out. Back 4 years ago, when Irrational shut down, we founded the Molasses Flood. We being me and a couple of friends. We're about a studio of 4 people right now. The Flame of the Flood, when we were making that game, we were about 6 people. Well, we were exactly 6 people. Hey, Squishy P, what's up, man? So how many tech artists and animators I have would be just the me. We have 3 artists total in the at the Flame of the Flood. We had 3 artists total, and right now we have 2 artists total. Do I count as an artist? Do animators count? Probably. I do art stuff. How much contracting do we use? Not much. For the Flame of the Flood, we had on the art team, we contracted out some character art, and some environment art, which was just basically 1 person for each of those for about a month, the month of December. We contract out the audio, to friends, basically. Like, we have freelance friends we use for that. And right now, on our new project at the Molasses Flood, we've got, basically 1 person that's doing concept art for us, just to help us get our pitch together. Because right now what we're doing is we're getting together materials in a prototype and we're pitching it to publishers. And for that you need a lot of concept art. So we've got a concept artist that we're working with. Yeah, the Flame of the Flood was 6 people total. It was fun, man. It was a good time. You don't need that many people these days. Not for something of that scope. I mean, shit, there's games being made with 1 person these days. Like this one. Alright, I'm losing track of what is... So you're part of the footprint there. Okay. So I want the trombone to kind of to occupy this space. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I should have said that for the audio. We contracted out the audio work of balancing stuff and putting in the sound effects. That went to a really awesome guy named Pat Balthrop, who we worked with at Irrational. The actual music for The Flame and the Flood was obviously Chuck Radigan and his band, The Camaraderie. He's an incredibly talented musician that was an old friend of our art director. And that was sweet. He jammed out, basically that was a collaboration. He jammed out that whole album. He made the soundtrack for our game. He retained the rights to the music so that he could, tour with it, which we were totally cool with because, yeah. He, like, our launch party, if you could call it that, was just he happened to be touring in Boston right when we launched with The Flame and the Flood, his album. And it was all of it. Like, our art director did the album cover, he did all the music for our game and gave us a license to use it in the game and promotional materials, and we just worked together really tightly. Yeah, he was pretty, At first I wasn't sure because I'd never worked with a country musician, and we sent him a word cloud of things, and it was very, very on the nose. The music that we got back was very much like, you're a girl going on a raft down a river. Like, it was way too, at least I thought it was like a little too, too exactly the game. But in the end it actually panned out really well. He did our, for our Kickstarter, that video we put together to get funded for our Kickstarter, he actually did that song not for free. He did it for a percentage of the Kickstarter. So if our Kickstarter failed, he wouldn't have seen a dime, which was awesome. Yeah. I mean, BioShock was really fun to work on too. I've been very fortunate. I think people assume all AAA studios are like, I was about to name some, are places where you don't have creative freedom and everything sucks, but that's not always the case. There's a couple of awesome places to work. Irrational happened to be one of them. Working there was incredibly fulfilling. I would go in, it was like this, I'd go in every day, I would decide what I want to do, and I would do it. We had very little oversight. Ken Levine kind of just, we were technically owned by, it was the best of both worlds. You had a paycheck. You didn't, this thing I have now where we have this fear that the thing we make has to make money, otherwise we fold as a company. You didn't have that. Like, we were owned by 2K, so we had creative freedom to do whatever we wanted without fear. And we had basically no oversight for, I don't know how Ken pulled that off, but it was true. And so we just kind of did whatever. Which is also why the game took forever. And Ken is very, Irrational did whatever. We did what Ken wanted. Ken is, he's a man of vision with a very clear direction of where he wanted to go with that game. But he had vision for the game, but tech art things, like deciding how, like, he didn't care how folder structures looked and shit like that, right? Or how there's a lot of things that just aren't part of, like, he just doesn't give a shit about. Unfortunately, everything I do in game development tended to fall right into that shit Ken doesn't give a shit about category, so I just got to do what the hell I wanted. It was great. I had a great goddamn time at Irrational. Not everybody had the same experience, but I did. I got away with fucking murder there, man. I think on the DLC at one point, I just decided I wanted to rig an octopus, because I just thought that would be really challenging. This is a creature with 8 limbs that you can and each limb can either pull or push you, right? And it's this nightmare thing to think about doing, and the challenge of that really appealed to me. And so I just took 2 weeks and rigged an octopus and animated it, and then just gave that to the level designers. And Snite, God bless him, put it in the game like 4 times. He just found a reason for this thing I made to exist, which is cool. But yeah, I did stuff like that more than I care to, than I should probably admit publicly. I got away with murder at that place. That's why I couldn't go back to AAA. After that, I was too spoiled. Quadrupus, yeah. I think those are like squids, right? Squids are 6? Octopus is 8? I don't know. I'm just making shit up, man. Quadra Pets are totally different. Quadra Pets are way easier than an octopus. I mean, you gotta keep in mind, it's a tendril. So it doesn't have bones. It needs to be flexible. It needs to be able to drag behind you, but also needs to be something that can pull. I'm not convinced I did it well. I actually took another stab at it later. Yeah, 4 tendrils. That's true. It's very difficult to animate an octopus, too. Just heads up. Like, that's just a lot of limbs to manage. It was so fun. I've been thinking about it ever, like, one of the... Hold on. Just to prove to you that I'm a little bit obsessed with this problem. It's my Pinterest. I have a Pinterest board of octopuses. This is my favorite one. I'm gonna make this someday. It's gonna be cartoony like this. Exactly this. Probably in 2.5D. I think about it a lot. Blend shapes would definitely be one way to go. It depends on your goal. At the time, I didn't have a goal of doing blend shapes. I had a goal of, this is a really hard problem. Let's rig an octopus that can do whatever I want it to do. And so in that respect, using blend shapes and such would have not achieved the goal of having maximum fun with this fucking octopus. I do. Okay, so I'm working with a musician, and I have a problem where I love puns, and you have to understand, this is a game about Euler and Quant, you know, set in Euclidean space, where you must execute exactly 90 degrees of rotation in precise order, right? Yeah. So, obviously, the thing that holds the world together has to be the bases, which is similar to the bass. So I'm like, okay, instead of a drum line, we need a bass line. Can you make that happen? And he's like, I'll try. And so that's his current job. Because bassist needs to be a bass, and that needs to be what holds the world together, guys. It's very important. Okay, so let's see, May. When we founded the company, we kickstarted in September of that year, so we had a good 7-month run up to the Kickstarter. We kickstarted and then we launched 2 years later. We were in early access. We were in early access almost within a year after the Kickstarter, I want to say. Shit, I have to look that up. It's been a while. And Happy New Year's, Yerk's crew. I'm not very good at keeping track of time, which is why I take forever to do everything. But that also makes it easier, because then you forget how much time you've invested in things. You can just keep going. I think the key to accomplishing good games is to be a little bit stupid. Because if you actually sit down and you think about your opportunity cost, especially as an indie, and you think about how to maximize your time so that you're doing the thing that makes the most sense, you'll realize that you shouldn't be an indie dev and you'll eat a bullet. That's really the only logical explanation. So it's better just not think about it and be a little dumb. This is my theory. This is not reality. I think most people would disagree. I think there's a lot of very successful indie businessmen that would not agree with that plan. Eating a bullet. Yeah. Okay. You guys should not listen to me. I hope you guys knew that was a joke. Don't eat a bullet, guys. It's possible to make a career in this. Probably. There's people that do it. Oh, yeah. No, I'm in good spirits. My holidays were great. I'm very lucky. I have a good life. I spent Christmas down in Florida with my family. How do I want to do this here? Happy 2018 Yucks group. Alright, my New Year's resolution is to say less stupid shit on Twitch. Jump from here to there. See here. I'm trying to remember this level. I think you start here. No. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Hey Nordal, welcome to the chat, man. Oh shit, what level is this? God damn it. I'm trying to decide. So I'm manipulating two different sections right now. One is basically this area and this area. And I know the two of them together I want to take up in the world basically this area. But I don't know which one I want where. Sorry, wait, that's Teapot. So this area. So should I wrap it around like this so that the hard stuff is here and the easy stuff is forward? I think I should. That does make the most sense. I'm gonna do that. Or I could get cute with it. This over here. I know I don't actually need some of that stuff. I've reached a point where I've just memorized these levels. It's actually kind of horrifying. I do need that block there, though. So you'll wind through here, pop up to there, push through there. Oh wait, what's going on? Chat is the Fishbowl. Yeah, man. Yeah, we're in the Fishbowl. I come up with a weird catchphrase for it. Welcome to the Fishbowl. I think at the time though we were trying to figure out what you guys wanted to be called. And I don't think we ever came to a conclusion on that, if I recall. I have the concentration of a starved hyena chasing a gazelle. God, I wish. I feel like I fucking scatterbrained as hell, man. I actually have difficulty focusing, especially if I'm not interested in what I'm doing. Like Twitter opens. I'm back on Twitter. I gave it up for like 2 weeks. It was a good 2 weeks, but I was on vacation and I'm in, you know, traveling, you get bored. You know how it is. It's actually a huge compliment. I wish I had that kind of concentration. Thank you. Almost. That could be cool. Oh, I'm not thinking about this right, because you end here. Start here. If this was reversed, that'd be cool, but it's not, so. Let's see here. Wait, what is this? Bits. Oh wow. Yeah, no, I don't think I have the mental fortitude to install this on my machine. I like procrastinating too much. I'll bet it works well though. Power to you for doing that, man. Procrastinating is good for creativity. Maybe. There's different ideas than that. I mean, the key is that you're doing something. Damian's one of the most creative people I know. Well, I know a lot of creative people, so it's a long list. But he's extremely creative, and he's also extremely regimented. Gets up every day, is creative from this hour to this hour, is not creative from this hour to this hour, takes care of his kids. It's incredible to watch. And I think if you listen to somebody like Tim Ferriss or someone like that, they'll tell you, I don't know, there's just different, everybody's got their own process, their own way of doing things. I don't think there's one way to be creative. Hi again, Dolphin Man. That's true. That was the excuse I used to use when I told my parents I'm playing video games, I'm not watching TV. Clearly I'm getting way more out of it. My parents did not agree. But now I make games for a living, so I guess who's got the last laugh there? This is a tricky one to stitch together. Man, I want to use the fact that that's got a... Whatever. This is a first pass. Can't get married to it. You gotta be careful about motivational speakers, by the way. They almost always tell you exactly what you want to hear. You can find somebody who's brilliant and successful, who will tell you exactly what you want to hear. Whatever that is. If you want to hear that the path to being creative is to, you know, fuck around all day on TV, somebody will tell you that. And they'll probably charge you to tell you that too. I'm not sure if I said hi, Dolphin. Tech art challenges to make the levels entirely procedural at runtime. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you're right. This whole game is gonna be proc gen, guys. All this stuff you're seeing me do is just, you know, a performance. Game will be totally different. When I was working on something and ran into a snag, I would lose motivation, open Twitter and YouTube, and waste 2 hours. I installed cold turkey to break those habits, and it's kind of crazy. It is in my muscle memory to open Twitter when I need a distraction, and now it won't let me. Yeah, I understand, Klungmeyer. And it's because you will. Your fingers will just automatically go there, and you'll find yourself just scrolling. It's amazing how easily that happens. Usually, I don't install something like that. Usually if I've caught myself doing that more than once in a day, I'll log out of Twitter on my computer. And that just kind of breaks it. Because the second I see the login screen, I'm like, oh, I have to decide to be a lazy piece of shit? I guess I won't. And that usually breaks the habit pretty quick. But I mean... everybody loves Oreos. You know what else will distract you from doing your work? Twitch. This is the worst. I love streaming, and part of me wonders if that's because I'm lazy. Let's see. This section starts at number 11. Ah. So. Oh. Okay. Alright, so this is a section. Handled. There's gonna be a better way to use that footprint, but oops, shit. Every now and then undo doesn't work and it just, then I gotta figure out what the hell I just did. What is sync? Oh, earlier today I got, I had an existential crisis where I considered cutting the trombone, and I went through like the whole, am I just keeping this because I've done it? Is this really the best Like, I was playing through the trombone again, and I'm like, I'm not sure if this is the best mode. I love it, but my playtesters don't love it. And so I put out on Twitter, it was like, hey, how do you know if you should cut a feature or not? Basically, how do you know if you just need a better on-ramp for your players versus if you have a game mode that people aren't responding to, if you should just cut it? I'm reading their responses now. You love the trombone? You haven't played it, though. You like the way he looks. I do. I like Euler a lot. I like the puzzles. I think they're more interesting. Also, they're harder. Like, do people not like it because it's harder? I don't know. It's easy to make a game way too hard because I know how to beat the game because I made it. So you don't really know how much to trust yourself all the time. I've kind of decided to just trust myself 100% of the time and see what happens. Cause fuck it. I'm not making money off this game. No, I'm not gonna make him a secret character. He's a central part of the narrative. He's Euler. Figure it out in the sequel. Lazy. No. I've already got the whole sequel planned too. Of all the things I wish I could do in this game. And I will. In the sequel. I will need more playtesters, May. At some point. Of course. And you were kind enough to trust me with the build of your game, so I think I'll probably do the same. Just not yet. Let me finish grayboxing the world and get a little bit further along. When we get closer to GDC, probably in February. I know, May. I appreciate it. Basically, anybody that's done fan art of the game gets priority. If you've done fan art of a game you've not even been able to play yet, I feel like you've earned it. Oh god, Jovix. Oh man, that's a brutal pun. I love it. Oh god. Hold on, I need to write that down. I had a different idea based on what you just said. I have a list of puns. Fuck, what's going on? My Windows is shitting the bed. Is Notepad shitting the bed? Oh, weird. No, there's not going to be a single pun in this game, May. We've been over this. No puns allowed. It's very serious, guys. Let me make sure I'm not messing with levels that are cut. Okay, so I cut 5 and 7. Oh shit, gotta stop doing that. I know what you're talking about, Jovix. You'll never prove it. My friends don't trust me downloading my EXEs. If I want them to play stuff, I always ended up putting troll programs in it with pop-up memes over the screen. Well, you only have yourself to blame there, Nordal. I feel like you asked for that. But I mean, was it worth it? Probably. I already forgot what I was doing. Okay, so this ends at 10. Goes from 1 to 10 without 5 and 7. Man, that's a lot. Okay, let's assume... So do we want the trombone, the first trombone levels to go like this in a circle, maybe? Maybe it jumps down here, goes around like that. I think that'd be cooler. Based on, I don't know, nothing. I just do. Gotta start somewhere. That should be fine. I'm surprised you still have friends to ask to test your stuff. Well, not that many people have played it, really. Let me think. So far, I sent it. Seth played it. There's a handful of strangers at Boston Indies that played it, like 2 or 3. Ichiro's played it twice now. So let me see. Chris Lum just played it. So I've had 3 friends play it. I have more than 3 friends, I swear. A-Town is gonna play when he's back from vacation, and I think my buddy Mohika is gonna play it on Wednesday over Skype. The reason why I'm doing it slowly is I want to watch them play it on Skype. So yeah, I have more than 3 friends. Sorry, let me read this out loud. So for fun, I decided to make a new movement system networked. Great challenge. Also a necessity if I want to update my marketplace asset to a better version. Kongmire, what's your, which one is your marketplace asset? I'm trying to remember everybody's. I know. I forget things, I'm sorry. I've seen this before. Cool, you work on this? Oh, Jesus. Why is this website garbage? Yeah, I've seen that before. Cool. V1 sucks, V2 sucks a little less. I know this feeling that you're describing right here. I empathize. Why are you way the fuck over there? You're not one of the ones that are cut? Oh. This goddamn level. What I like most about Ichiro's feedback, because he actually does give really good feedback, but how much is this gonna show you without giving away everything? Oh, fuck it. Okay, so basically he's like, I determined I would play this as if I was playing a game and stop the second I got bored. And here's where I got bored. And it was like immediately the trombone. He's like, no, fuck it. He's like, I played until here and got bored, then played till here and got bored, and saw the trombone and said, nah. Which is great, because he's really honest. He actually has some pretty good design feedback. He was more polite than that, by the way. I'm really doing him a disservice here. He was like, it's a good game. It was really fun. I just reached this point and said, okay, I understand. And he didn't get to the cool shit, which is a huge problem. So, because it looks like the on-ramp to my game might be simultaneously too long and not informative enough. I don't know what the fuck. We'll figure it out. I have another playtest on Wednesday. I think it'll be better now. But anyway, this is the level that people hate, and I don't know why. It's not that hard. It's a very simple core concept. You can't go right there. You have to go back in order to go forward. And I'll admit, I've actually somehow made it more complicated in my attempt to make it simpler. But it's just like, go back here, reorient yourself, and then go. Everyone hates that level. I don't understand it. Because if you can't do that, then everything else is going to be, like, impossible, basically. I should cut that level. Yeah, well, the thing is, these are level fragments, they're not the actual levels. The names of the levels here, like the Big Break, the Strange Duet, I'm not sure what to call this one yet. I don't have the actual names for these, but these are the gigs you get paid for, these are your street shows. I don't have a name for the opening. This is kind of like, I'm starting to think about it, basically. The fragments? Nah, because when you're actually doing them, it should feel like you're a percentage of the way through, rather than like each one being its own level. At least that's kind of what I imagined in my head. We'll see. Maybe I will go in that direction. I'll have to try it out. That's another reason why I need to stitch the world together and get that screen looking right, because in a weird way, the menu screen is sort of gonna explain what the game is. Like, you need that kind of overarching feel. I have the second-to-second gameplay, but I don't have, like, the big, oh shit, what's the right word for it? The core game loop, I guess. I might cut this level. Crystalum fucking hates it too. We'll see, Jovix. I'm working with my audio guy on a lot of this stuff. Because I really like this person I'm working with right now. Well, I'm sorry. I'm working with a composer right now who's trying to get really into it and teach himself Unreal and stuff. So we're going to see what he wants to do. I think a lot of this stuff is going to change based on what he wants. I mean, I'm making a game about a bunch of machines that are aspiring musicians, you know, that are like practicing making music at night, and I'm working with an audio guy that's an aspiring musician, a recent graduate that was first chair trombonist at a pretty good music school here in Boston. So I feel like that part's got to be a collaboration. And I don't know if he wants to make the whole game a song, but he's had a couple of interesting ideas for what to do with the music, and he wants to experiment a bit. And based on that, I think we'll probably jiggle some things around here, aesthetically and narratively, to kind of, I don't know, meet in the middle. Giving advice to an audio person, like, everybody has opinions about music. There's music I like, but I'm talking to somebody who actually knows what the hell they're doing. Like an actual composer that composes things for money. And the words I use are so dumb. It's fine if I'm conversational and I'm talking with you guys, but to write an email that's like, I think it should sound more happy. I've just given up. I didn't even bother. I'm just like, I like this YouTube video of music, but not this YouTube video. And I'm just trying to explain what I want and what I think is good and what the vibe is. But without words, because apparently I can't do that. It's something as simple as, like, he was like, I don't like the last 3 measures of this, but what do you think of the rest? And I had to Google measures, because I'm like, I don't know what you mean, man. Yeah, that's true. It's true for all of it, sure. I just feel like I really failed my buddy, the audio guy that did the last pass, because I just didn't give him any guidance at all. And I just don't want to, like, fuck it up again. But I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to music, so. And you're right, I'm suddenly getting you know, in the past I've had clients who will say something like, they'll just give feedback for art, which is it's almost better to just, if they would have just said, go fish. Because, again, everybody has opinions about art, even if you can't articulate it. I totally empathize right now. Okay, the end point is here. Oh, fuck, the start point's there, isn't it? Yeah. like that the start and end point are similar, but it does make this one weird. Probably can't just put that there, can I? No. That's true. Next time I will be better at this. The end. Okay, so maybe we end here. And you just kind of went like that. It's not super interesting. Maybe more interesting if you at least arced a little. Such a weird one. Usually as I stitch these together, I find like I like this level next to this one. I'm not keen on this yet. Whereas here I don't like a single thing I just did. I don't feel like anything's really flowing super well. I don't feel like the walls are combining nicely. I don't have a determined end and start point I like or a shape I like. It's just kind of not there. And what if you start like way the hell over here? This. Drop down. What the shit? Did I forget one? Oh god, I did. Good thing I got all this space over here. You're 2. Okay. What's going on in the chat? Have I ever tried Unity? Not really. I mean, I've opened it, and I've messed around with it a bit, but I've never used it for development. And I've never truly... I evaluated it once, but that was 7 years ago. I don't think it's even fair to compare that now. So I haven't used it in any kind of work capacity. I mean, I know anecdotally it's not the best for animation, specifically. I don't know any tech animators that prefer Unity over Unreal. But, you know, there's pros and cons to each engine. Unreal happens to have the most pros, but whatever. I happen to be a huge fan of Unreal. Okay. So you need to get... If you mean prose? Oh. God. You're fired? So that might be more interesting. The trombone starts here, he jumps out the window, he moves around here. Skeet, 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 up this, down here. This shit level that I'm gonna probably cut. What even are you? 3 now? I haven't cut it yet. I'm gonna give it a chance. It's not shit. It's really easy. Why? Anyway, let's turn it real quick. What the fuck is going on here exactly? 5. Oh, that's a different level. I see. Okay. 5 is cut. So 6 goes to 8. I don't even know what that means. 9.5 left till the next cycle? You mean the new year? Alright, New Year's resolution. Javix isn't allowed to make any more puns. Let's make it clear. We're gonna elevate the status of our humor in this chat. I've been repeatedly told that puns are the lowest form of humor. What did I just click? 8. God damn it. Alright, it's crap, but we know roughly that this section will take up this area. I'll be noodling on that forever. Plus the puzzles themselves may change based on feedback, so it's hard to say. What is the lowest form of humor? Puns, obviously. Wordplay. God, Javix. Hey, Middle, what's up? Thank you for your help on Twitter. You actually, like, helped out a lot of people with that. It's been retweeted. Hey, Themeka. Oh, is it night there? Go out and party, man. It's the new year. Wrong thing. Okay. I didn't even really want to stream today. I just realized I should in case I have too much fun later and I end up really unpleasant on the stream tomorrow. I'm gonna try to start the year off right. I'm gonna try to stream because it's Monday tomorrow. But, you know. We'll get started pretty late, probably. Okay. I use the restroom. I'll be right back. Nordal, I know that feeling, man. I've been there. I am also there. Guys, I don't know what more I can stream, because what I gotta do is all of my next couple tasks are things I gotta think about and plan. And that's not really something I can do on stream. I don't have any easy bugs left. Those are done. I had to fix a lot of the bugs because I'm sending out builds and shit. I can start animating, but that's like... Alright, yeah, I think I'm gonna make this a really short stream. I think I'm gonna take off and see you guys tomorrow. And the new year on a 2-hour stream. Happy New Year, Jovix. Tomorrow will be an interesting day. I hope you're all around. You'll get to see something very raw when I wake up at 2. I hope you guys are gonna have a great night. And I hope you guys have a bright future planned for the next year. Have a happy new year, or just have a new year, whatever. Man, whatever gets you through. Oh, Nordal, I'm American. We drink a lot here. Yeah, that's how we do the new year. That's like our thing. In America, we don't drink unless we drink, and when we do, we drink. That's kind of like how it is. I'm not proud of it, but you know, it's what we do. You do what you do. I have no idea what that is, Plinard. Yes. Stuff your faces, ladies and gentlemen. And come back with a good story for tomorrow. Also come back with water. Stay hydrated. Alright. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I can't guess. Bye.